Hello and welcome. It's back to another round of weekend night racing. This is League One. My name is Katie, 1997, commentating once again for you guys today. Today we are going to be racing at, it's not really everyone's favorite track, but it's one of my personal favorites. We're going to be racing in Vietnam, Hanoi, Vietnam, for the Vietnam Grand Prix. Last week we raced in another street circuit that was Albert Park in Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. Last week, podium sitters were Sam Swift Ninja, who took it home for Mercedes, pretty much dominated the race. Second was Menace Max in the Racing Point, and then Idolanos got third in the Alpha Tauri. So that was the results for that. At least for the podium sitters. The points for everything. Well, actually, I could just run off the grid. So fourth was Cryptic Alibi, who was one of the championship drivers. Fifth was Baseman, I think that's his name. Yeah, Baseman in the Racing Point. Yantami in the roundup finished in sixth. Captain Infinity, who was in the Williams, finished in seventh. Gunnar finished in eighth in the Ferrari, and Jake Bradfield, another championship driver in the Alfa Romeo, finished in ninth, and then Andy Liu finished off the top 10. So, and it looks like we have a couple of new drivers as well on the grid, one reserve driver wise. Joseph Morados is a new driver for today. I think he is a reserve, if I'm not mistaken. Taking over for Are You Jealous? And I think Scorpa is taking over for the Maniac at the Red Bull, and then Dead Rabbit being taken over by Jonesy, another driver I have not seen before, but I think this is their first drives as well in WNR, so hopefully we can see some good action out of this. But anyway, yeah. Vietnam. So a little bit about the track. It's a 500 kilometer or 3.4 mile circuit. It has 23 corners, 3 DRS zones. It has two straights. One of the two big long straights. One of them, which you see right there, stretches for at least over a kilometer. So it is also one of the. I probably would say it's one of the longest straights on the calendar as well. Maybe close to Baku's main straight. And that's not a good start. Hugh Janis just broke his front wing just to start it off. So anyway, we'll follow along with, looks like we're following with Base Bailey in the McLaren. So let me make sure I got everything all fitted up there for you. There we go. Alright, so we'll give you a little tour of this 3.4 mile street circuit. So down the main straight goes Base Bailey into the first braking zone of turn one. Goes a little bit too deep there, and now you go into the first roundabout. Of course, it's a little bit tricky. You want to be steady on the throttle a little bit, maybe rub that inside part of the corner as much as you can. Kick it out there at turn three, and then go into the second DRS zone before reaching the second heavy braking zone of the circuit, which is also the second roundabout. Use as much of the curve. Make sure the curve also on the inside doesn't make the car flip to the other side, so it tends to do that. And now we go on to the long 1 kilometer straight, which by now at this point with the DRS open, which will reach in the heavy braking zone of turn 11. And this is the gear you mostly would get into maybe first gear sometimes. I tend to do that sometimes myself. And yeah, go into the heavy braking zone of turn 11, kick it out, and then we go into the second sector. Now, of course, this part of the track is influenced by pretty much the S's of Suzuka, and then also the uphill section of Monaco as well. So yeah, just rubbing the curves a little bit. He kind of had a little bit of an awkward line, I would say. Into now the penultimate corner, turn 22, and now to turn 23. And kick it out of there. Crux in the line at a 1 minute 34.9. So that's the provisional pole at the moment. Hugh Janis follows along with a 33 on the medium compound. And next to come across will be his teammate. Actually, no, there's a Ferrari coming before that. It's Sanif in a 38.3. And Hugh, Scorpio, sorry. Following on with the 36.0. Peter Dave in the pass, 35.8. And next to come is a Williams. I think that will be Captain Affinity. Or no, is it his teammate? It's his teammate. Yeah, it was his teammate. RG did a 37.3. Now here comes Captain Affinity in the other Williams to come across the line with a 37.2. Next to come is looking to be Andy Liu, and it is. As he looks like he'll get into the 35s. Yep, 35.5 to kick off his qualifying. And next to come, Delano's one of the pole sitters from last week in the AlphaTauri. Will come across in a 37.2. Next is a Mercedes, and you can see a racing point there coming across as well, and that will be Baseman. That was Baseman that just did a lap. Okay, so the other Mercedes must have done a lap. So Baseman goes into the 35s with a 35.1, so he's 2/10 off of pole. And Jonesy, the reserve, goes into a 35.7. So already we're seeing times pretty even in the moment from second to fifth, separated by 7/10. And Joseph Morados did a 53.7. I did not catch that, but I'm guessing that was just probably a little bit of a shake-up lap. He'll probably get better up there soon. And then young Tommy, I guess, just came across the line a little while ago. Did a 39.6. And then there is Schwan Shanks as well. Who was close, I think, to do a lap in that Mercedes. And but yeah, like I say, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone likes this track just because they say it's horrid. I personally like it because it's a challenging track and it's very fun. I tend to like long street circuits. Like that's kind of like why I like Baku in a way. It kind of reminds me. Oh, well, that's not going to help you there. End plate gone, 36.5. Yeah, not good there to miss your end plate. We might see drivers do that quite often. I'm probably not going to lie. It is probably one of the most common mistakes to run wide out of the final turn and just break off your front wing. But yeah, we have yet to see Jay Bradfield, Mass Max, LPE, and Gunnar do a lap. And yeah, if you're just new to this as well, like last week, it is short qualifying. It will be like that for the rest of the season, of course. This is the only tier that does a short qualifying session. Just League One, Championship, and Premier League do full qualifying, like what Formula 1 would normally do in real life. So yeah, that's basically why you're seeing that a little bit difference if you're new to the stream or just watching it in general. But yeah, if you're new to it, welcome along. And you're probably going to be in for quite a show. I want to say it was purple in the second sector. Don't know if I believe that, even though he's got a broken front wing. It's in end plate. Yeah, the one thing... Oh, he's actually going to do his lap. I'm surprised. Okay. So he needs to be at 34.9. Doesn't look like he beat it. And he doesn't even beat his own time. With a broken front wing. He was close to beating it. But not close enough. And I'm surprised he actually decided to go for another lap. Anyway, here's ALR Vintage. I'm guessing he did a lap a little while ago to the 36.3. So he's supposed to do another one. And let's see what he does here. He comes towards the final quarter now. 34.9 is the beat. Looks like it'll be a 30. Oh, no, I was going to say 36, but it is a 35.9. And he is in 7th at the moment. gets out of the way of that Williams there coming across. Tango just said in the comments, do not compare this to Singapore. No, I would not compare this to Singapore. Well, okay. If you know more about the track, like, it has sort of inspirations, like if you were listening earlier. Like, I did not mention what the first couple of corners were, but the first couple of corners kind of remind me of the Nürburgring, like the first couple of corners there. Like the first roundabout. And then, like, the S section, which kind of reminds me of the uphill section of Monaco going into the uphill section that goes up towards Casino Square, and then you've got the S's that just that kind of resemble Suzuka. But then also the final couple of corners, they remind me of Malaysia in a way. It's mostly I think it was turns 12 and 14 is what it reminds me of a little bit. Yeah, this circuit does have some inspirations for a street circuit, but yeah, kind of like I said, not everyone's cup of tea. Anyway, here comes Saneth, as he's going to be the closest one to cross the line right now in the Ferrari. He's in a 38.4, so he's a long way from pole, but FaZe Bailey still currently holds it at the moment, and he breaks his front wing, goes into the 36s with a 36.4. But Hugh Janis is the closest one at the moment with a 35.0. He's not that far off, so we'll see how that goes in the end of qualifying. Oh yeah, and also strategy-wise, if you're not familiar with Vietnam strategy, it's a two-stop strategy. So the strategy I've done is a soft, medium, soft that can work, but sometimes I've rain. I've only had one time it rained in Vietnam, like for qualifying. Anyway, here comes Scorpa in the Red Bull to come across the line. Doesn't look like he'll beat the 34, but let's see. He'll be in the 35s with the 35.6, puts it up into 5th. And Delanos goes even faster with a 35.092. So he's down by 48/100ths of a second from Hugh Janis, so this is going to be very close. From the way it looks, but just close to, they're just close to get into the 34s. But we'll see if they can crack it in the later part of the qualifying. Menace Max, I think, is the next one to, I was gonna say next to Cross, but he goes into the pit lane. So I take that back. Jonesy, I think, is the next one, or next closest car. You can see the Ferrari from near the finish line, but that's Gunnar about ready to get going. So Jonesy is purple and up by 7/10 in the middle sector. So can we see this Mercedes get in the front row? We saw one get in the front row last week with Sam Swift. Can we see Jonesy go into the front row of the grid? As he comes around the penultimate corner now. Goes very deep into the corner, loses the back end just slightly. And now does he go here? He's going to go 35, well, it says 35 dead on the right side, but the other telemetry says 34.999. So he's down by 53/100ths of a second. That is super close, but he's got one more lap to do it. Anyway, let's see. I think we might have an Alpha coming towards the line. Yeah, that is Joseph and the other Alfa Romeo. And this is looking to be, I think, his last chance as well for qualifying, as I don't think he'll have enough time afterwards to get another lap on the board, unless he's got enough fuel. But he comes across the line now, and he will do a 35.6, so he does improve a lot more into now the 35s. And Williams looks like hit the wall there. I don't know who that was. I'm guessing that was Captain Infinity. the wall, but luckily he has no damage. But here comes Gunnar, as he's going to come to around the final corner now. What does he do here? A 36.4 is the time for the Ferrari. So he is in 12th in the most. The Ferraris are locked in at 12th and 13th. We have 3.5 minutes left into this qualifying session. And yeah, now you're going to see everyone start to come out. That pit lane is going to start becoming a little bit more empty as we go along. And there's your pole sitter right now, FaZe Bailey, as he's missing a front wing completely. So he's got to get back to the pits very quick. He's got 2.5 minutes. 250. He should be able to make it, as long as there's no one there to stall, which he doesn't have a teammate, so he's lucky about that. But it is a fairly long pit lane. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about this pit lane. The pit lane in this track is a bit awkward in my opinion because of just because how it slings you out in the middle of the track. And it's almost like Canada, but it's just more awkward. But anyway, here comes RG. Looks like he didn't improve, or was that an outlap? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, Captain Infinity just improved to a 35.1. So he goes up into 6th place. So that's a good time there from the Williams. I think that might be locked in for the moment. He's only down by 3 milliseconds from Baseman in the racing point. But yeah, this is pretty close between from 1st to 12th. It is separated by nearly over a second, which is quite impressive. Who have we got next coming? Looks like LPE's out. Oh, he's about to do an outlap. And one of the Ferraris is the same story. That is Saneth, as FaZe Bailey has retired from the session. So he did not have enough time to get back out from the pit lane. So that is his qualifying done. But we'll see if that 34.946 will be enough to hold, at least for the moment. Yeah, we will see another pole sitter, but who will it be? Jonesy is out of qualifying, so he's not going to get another pole position for Mercedes. And here we go. We're about to get started for the last bit of cars to start their final flying laps of qualifying. Saneth was one of the cars to cross the line, and who we got? Menace Max goes onto pole position with a 34.899. So he's up into provisional pole at the moment. Very good time, very close, but will that hold? I think it could, but unless Delano's Basement's out. He's out of qualifying. So can anyone from the top 10 challenge that? I think Delano's could, but we'll have to see. RG is out of qualifying. Peter Dave next to come across the line in 11th at the moment for Haas, does a 35.1, so that puts him into 6th place. And next to come, it looks like to be the Ferrari of Saneth. We'll see what his second sector time is as he comes towards there. He's up by nearly 2.5 tenths going into the middle sector. But what difference is that going to make? Will he get up to maybe at least towards the bottom top 10 if he can? As he comes down to the penultimate corner now. Delano's will be the next one to cross the line as he goes around the final corner. What will the time be for the Ferrari? And it's going to be a 36.1, so that puts him into 14th. Here comes Delano's. What is he going to do here? He goes into 2nd place with a 34.925. So he almost got it, but Menace Max, I think, has got pole position unless Captain Finney has something to say about that. I don't think he does. He's a little bit too far off the pace. Same with Andy Liu. And yeah, Bearded Dave, I think, has ended his qualifying as well. So I think that is the end of qualifying. So yeah, Menace Max on pole position for Racing Point. Delano's goes into 2nd place on the grid. So the guy that got third place last week is in second this week to start off the race today in Vietnam. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much. I think everyone's pretty much done here. I think we're just gonna wait for everyone to retire, maybe, or go into the pit lane. Oh, wow, what a qualifying! Look at the separation there. By nearly 1.5 tenths separate the top 5. That is something else. That is quite impressive. And then from 1st to 13th is separated by over a second. That's also quite impressive as well. But Jay Bradfield and LPE did not even do a qualifying lap, which is very interesting indeed. All right, there you go. Here is your qualifying order. Menace Max on pole position with Delano in Delano, sorry. Delano, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. Delano in second, Faze Bailey in third, Jonesy in fourth, Hugh Janis in fifth, Peter Dave in sixth, Baseman in seventh, Captain Infinity eighth, Andy Lou in ninth, Joseph Morados in 10th, Scorpa in 11th, Young Tommy in 12th, ALR Vintage in 13th, Santh in 14th, RG MBMH in 15th, Gooner in 16th, Swanshank in 17th, and then Jay Bradfield and LP will start from the back of the grid because they did not set qualifying times at all. Right. So, we've got another pole sitter, but this time it's not a Mercedes, it's a Racing Point. I expect to maybe see some flip-flops with pole sitters in the future, but that was a good qualifying session. The top 5 separate by 1.5 tenths is something else. Yeah, that was fairly close. But anyway, it looks like to be clear. So yeah, it looks like cannot see any raindrops coming out of my commentary box window. So looks like to be a dry session for the rest of the race. And also to note too, since a lot of the guys, well, not just in here, but almost in league racing in general, Vietnam will not come back because if you remember from real life, he'll be removed from the calendar due to political reasons and obviously because of COVID-19 restrictions. So that's also another reason why. But anyway, let me get the telemetry up. There we go. And we shall run you through the order one more time before we get things going for the next 28 laps as Jay Bradfield and Swan Shakes have been disqualified from the formation lap. So, okay, not a good way to start, but Menace Max, who's finished second last week, is on pole this week. And followed by the other pole sitter from last week, Delano in second place. Faze Bailey in third in the McLaren. Jonesy making his debut in the Mercedes as a reserve in fourth. Hugh Janis will round off the top 5 in the Red Bull. And then Bearded Dave will start in sixth. Baseman in seventh. Captain Infinity eighth. Eddie Lure in ninth. Joseph Morales also another reserve making a debut. For Alfa Romeo will start in 10th. War Scorpa in the Red Bull will start in 11th. And then Young Tommy in 12th. ALR Vintage in 13th. Saneth in 14th. RG in 15th. Gooner in 16th. Swanshank, Jay Bradfield got disqualified. Will start in 17th and 18th. And LP will start from the back of the grid. But top 10 on soft tires. Of course, the rest are also on mediums except for in the bottom top 10, except for or top 9, I should say, except for LPE on the softs, and then Swanshank, who is on the hard compound tire. So that would be very interesting to see. And I don't know if I don't think we saw a graphic pop up for the pit strategy. But yeah, like I said, it is a two-stop strategy. Soft, medium, soft is mostly the preferred strategy around this circuit. If you're on the soft and mediums, you could probably go medium, soft, soft, or you go medium, medium, soft, hard. So you can probably just do one stop, hopefully, but have to pray for a safety car. As we get the drivers lined up on the grid. And get ready for the Vietnam Grand Prix here in Hanoi. It'll be a treacherous 3.4-mile circuit to deal with, but there has been moments where we could see some incidents happen, some carbon fiber fly off the cars. But here we go. 5 red lights here in Vietnam, and it is lights out, and away we go. And it looks like Menace Max has a pretty decent start, but I think Delano had a better start off the grid. He's going to go on the inside line into turn 1. The AlphaTauri, Delano takes the lead of the Vietnam Grand Prix. And FaZe Bailey looks like to fall behind and get ahead of Menace Max and go into second place. And I think there's an incident somewhere in the back. There's a yellow flags. I can't see who it was. I think there might have been some front wings broken off. But Delano with a great start. FaZe Bailey off to a good start as well. But FaZe Bailey looks to make the inside move going into the second braking zone we go. And Delano just holds him off for the time being. But Delano had a brilliant start off the line from second on the grid. Menace Max just could not get off the grid and loses two positions off the grid. Jonesy under pressure from Eugenics as they're going to go now towards the long 1 kilometer straight. A long, long way there. DRS, of course, not open yet until lap 3 of the race. Jonesy trying to defend the inside line into the heavy braking zone at turn 11. And I think he's got the move done. Oh, it's just a little bit more backed up, though, as Baseman and Captain Infinity almost collided there into the hairpin. And Baseman on the outside of Captain Infinity. Captain Infinity, though, has the inside line, pushes him off the circuit a little bit into now the S section. You're going to need to have one car yield, and he does make the move. Baseman moves up to 6th place. And LP, I think, might have had a moment as he's fallen off. I think he has, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's got front wing damage. So he's going to have to go into the pits. And we have Jay Bradfield, who's also in the wall as well, in the S's. So not a great start for him, but Delano leads the race by 0.6 of a second from FaZe Bailey to Menace Max, Jonesy, Hugh Janis, Baseman, Captain Vinny, Andy Liu, Joseph Morado, who also had a good start, gaining up 1 position, along with Scorpa as well, who moved themselves up into the top 10. Yeah, it was relatively clean for most parts, but yeah, a little bit of incidents. We got some drivers already in the pits. Jake Bradfield and Stan have come in. I think they might have had a collision there or 2 or something. Oh, and Jonesy goes a little bit sideways there at the exit of the corner there in the second roundabout. Running up board now with Eugenics in the Red Bull. He's going to have to overtake on them along with Jonesy. They're both even on ERS as well. They're draining a lot of that battery. But Jonesy has more straight line speed compared to that Red Bull. And let's see what he does. Does he go for a move around the outside? No, he does not. It looks like Jonesy just cuts him off a little bit there. So he has to hold back just for the time being. But Delano up to a good start. FaZe Bailey and him have also broken away a little bit. 1.5 seconds separate between him and the Pulsar. The Menace Max was dropped off a little bit from the start. But yeah, now we go into the 3rd lap, and this is now the time that DRS will be enabled. And Delano also sets the fastest lap of the race so far with a 39.4. Should be progressing more as we go along, as the LPE gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings already after 3 laps. And yeah, DRS right there on the bottom of your screen says it is enabled by race control. So FaZe Bailey will bring the pressure to the AlphaTauri. He's got the DRS, trying to go on the outside. He's going to look at the outside of the second braking zone of Vietnam. Can he make the move done? Yes, he can. It's his first place goes FaZe Bailey in the McLaren. But Delano might cut back in, and oh, I thought he almost got sent into the wall there. As oh, we got some more incidents. I think it might be Joseph. Yeah, it is. In the Alfa Romeo. He had a little bit of a tangle as well. But Delano has dropped a lot of ground. I think ever since that little bit of moment there, he had the second roundabout. But FaZe Bailey by 1.3 seconds. Menace Max is now starting to close in on that Alpha Tauri as well. In third place after having a poor start. Is right now all over the back of that Alpha Tauri's rear wing. But if I had to guess, when everyone would come into the pit. Oh! FaZe Bailey's had a moment! FaZe Bailey has had a moment. He lost it a little bit in the S's. He's lost 2 positions because of that. So now Delano takes the lead back of the Vietnam Grand Prix, but now Menace Max is on the picture. He wasn't earlier, but now he's back in the picture. And with DRS open, I don't think he's quite close enough to get to the Alpha Tauri, but FaZe Bailey had a big moment going sideways at the end of the S's. So he's going to have to make up that ground all over again. As now Menace Max will bring the pressure to Delano. Once again, he got overtaken in that same braking zone, and he gets overtaken before the braking zone. So Menace Max takes the lead. FaZe Bailey almost trying to go for a move on the inside. Delano just cuts him off. But yeah, now Menace Max pulls center, takes the lead of the race. Delano at second, and FaZe Bailey right behind him. As right now a 3-car fight for first place. DRS now enabled for both these cars. Are we going to see 3 wide? We are going to see 3 wide into the hairpin. But FaZe Bailey has the inside line. Who's going to get the move done? It looks like, oh, they go too deep. Delano has to go very wide after that collision there with FaZe Bailey's. Menace Max still retains the lead. This is a brilliant racing by these 3. And Josie hits the back of the Red Bull. No damage, I don't think. But that was very close to being very nasty. That could have been very, very nasty indeed. But what great driving there by Menace Max. Just stay in the middle of that 3-wide pack of FaZe Bailey and Delano, who are trying to bring the pressure with DRS, but he just somehow managed to just get around them with ease. And looks like Delano has lost a little bit of ground as well. He's lost a fair amount of time. Lost about 1.3 seconds. If we got him Alpha, looks like in the wall, yeah. It's Joseph, who started from 10th in the grid, is now down to near the rear of the field. And now here comes FaZe Bailey. Oh, he goes twitchy again. And, oh, he hits the wall. No. Oh, he's hit the wall. He has hit the wall. He's got damage. That is so unfortunate. So he's lost a position, lost an end plate, and he also gives Delano a free DRS pass as well to try to catch up to Menace Max. Menace Max has got now 2 seconds clear of second place. Yeah, you can see now FaZe Bailey's going to have to be struggling with that broken front wing. No end plate on the right side of that car. So he will be struggling for downforce. But yeah, 2.1 seconds now between Menace Max and Delano. And now we can probably see I think we might see FaZe Bailey come into the pits. Or does he stay out? No, he's coming in. He knows he can't hold him off. So, yeah, it goes into the pit lane, and we'll have to get a new front wing, of course. So now the position's changed, and now Hugh Janis will now take third place. Such a shame for FaZe Bailey after he had a good qualifying session, starting from the top 3. And here comes Baseman on the inside into turn 1 ahead of Jonesy. I think manages to keep ahead of that Mercedes there. But the Racing Point has just got ahead of him as well, so Baseman up into 4th place. So the Racing Points are having themselves a good day at the moment, 1st and 4th. So yeah, Right now, 1.9 seconds the gap between the leader and Delano. Menace Max right now leading the race. 1.8 seconds. Hugh Janis 1 second off from Delano. I don't think he'll have, actually no, he will have DRS to help him out. Amazingly, I'm guessing he must have got somewhere under a second ahead, a second in the detection zone. But he's just not close enough to fight off against that sister Red Bull or the Alpha Tower. Just quite yet. Let's see, we've got, looks like a battle for midfield. Jonesy has lost a lot of time. And young Tommy though, how about this? From, let's see, I think he was, where did he start off? He started up from 12, so he's gained 6 positions. He's in a pretty good spot at the moment, as I think we got someone in the pits already. Delano has come into the pit lane, and so has Jonesy to get the undercut. So Delano is looking to get the undercut done on Menace Max. And on goes the medium compound tires for the Alpha Tauri. And so is Jonesy. Remember, this is a 2-stop, in case you did not know. So young Tommy goes into 4th, but he has had a good race so far. Of course, he can go longer with those medium tires, but he will have to do a 2-stop, of course, eventually. Right now, Menace Max 2.3 seconds up in Dennis. Baseman, remember, 3rd because of the pit stop. Young Tommy, Scorpa, Gooner, Andy Lou, and then Bearded Dave and Delano, who made the pit stop, and Jonesy, who also made a pit stop, are 9th and 10th at the moment. Jonesy goes very, very wide at that second roundabout. And it looks like yellow, I'm guessing it's a premature yellow flag because there was nothing that actually happened. Maybe just the car slowing down. But Menace Max might have to respond to this, as he did see Delano go into the pit lane. But will he respond to this? And the answer will be, it looks like, oh, he thought about it for a moment. He almost thought about it, but no, he stays out. Interesting. So Baseman comes in. I think this will now be the undercut attempt for Jonesy to get ahead of him. Now, the question is, where is Delano? Right now, he's in the end of the S's, so he's still got some time if he wants to get the undercut done on Menace Max. Menace Max might lose time. Yeah, you can see those soft tires are starting to fade a little bit there. So he's losing a little bit of time to Hugh Janis. He also made some mistakes there in the process. That's not going to help him. And he's under a second, but you're probably wondering why he doesn't have DRS. That's because he wasn't under a second when he got into the detection zone. So that's pretty much the reason why there was no rear wing open on the letterbox. Jonesy gets a 3-second time penalty to add to his name. And let's see, I think he's under, so the undercut did not work for Jonesy, but he did manage to get closer to Baseman. As he does have the DRS. There is Space Bailey right there behind. So he's got the DRS, but will he be close enough to get to the racing point? I kind of doubt it. Unless he goes for a desperation even to the... Oh, that is way too deep. I'm sorry. Excuse my language if I said something. That was almost way too deep. I'm surprised he did not have damage from that. Well, I mean, I know it's all reduced damage, but... Okay, there you go. Menace Max now in the pits. Hugh Janis and Young Tommy. Young Tommy's also gone in the pits. Interesting. So he's going on in very early on those mediums. But where is Delano? He's at the penultimate corner. So Menace Max going onto the medium compound tire. Will he get ahead of the Alpha Tauri? Delano right now coming towards the braking zone of turn 1. Menace Max just about to come out. And Delano's got the undercut to work, so he takes the penultimate lead of the race. And by a good margin as well. So that extra lap that Menace Max did from response to Menace Max or to Delano's pit stop cost him quite a bit of time. And yeah, you could see that gap has grown a lot. 4 seconds between now Delano and Menace Max. So that was the big mistake, to stay out a little bit longer. He would have responded to that undercut a little while back. He would have maybe either been ahead or a little bit closely even with Alpha Tower. But yeah, he's lost a ton of ground because of that undercut. So Delano takes the penultimate lead of the race. FaZe Bailey, meanwhile, has gone ahead of Jonesy for 6th place. But he goes a little bit too deep there into the braking zone at turn 11. But yeah, right now the gap, 3.6 seconds between Delano and Menace Max. Gunnar and Scorpa. Scorpa is in the lead of the race, but he has yet to make a pit stop. Same with Gunnar in the top 2. And also Swanshake has yet to make a pit stop as well, as he's been on those hards for a while. So is RGMBMH, as he was also on the mediums. And there is the pit window for the softs. But yeah, I don't know why it said only for softs, even though I'm highlighting a car that's on the mediums, but okay. Codemasters. And yeah, FaZe Bailey has kind of climbed back up a little bit, though. After breaking his front wing, what was it, about 6 laps ago that he broke his front wing? So he's kind of climbed back up a little bit, though. He's starting to climb up to a little bit towards the racing points, but he's got to hope for those racing points to battle out a little bit. And we might see them battle out, as they're going to ride on board with FaZe Man into the long 1 kilometer straight, as he's got DRS on his teammate. Does he get the move done around the outside? I think he's got him clear. Yep, and he has got him clear at the moment. Yes, he does. So FaZe Man moves up into provisional 2nd place, ahead of his teammate. Was there a safety car? No, there was no safety car. Cryptic alibi. No, there has not been a safety car. Kind of amazing to me, though. I will say that. The chances of a safety car can't be pretty high, as Swanshake, I think, has had a moment. Yes, he has. He's in the fence, and he's broken a lot of his front wing. So he's going to have to go back to the pits immediately because of that. And also, looks like Cooner's gone into the pits and onto the soft compound tire. So he's going to the medium soft strategy. Scorpa, out of that top 5, has yet to make a pit stop. Right now, the 2 racing points are kind of getting the elbows out a little bit there. Menace Max has DRS to help out catch up the basement, but he's just not quite close enough to get to his teammate. Yeah, that's not going to help him out either. He didn't get a good exit, so he's lost about 3/10 out of that corner. So yeah, he's lost a lot of ground, but look at the comparison for ERS. If you can look on your screen, 73% for Max compared to just 1% for Baseman. Well, it was 1% at one point. Delano, though, has lost about 4/10 though in the last lap. So I think because of those racing points just pushing each other, maybe they're trying to like catch up, but we'll see. The gap's now starting to close a little bit more. 2.6 seconds. I wonder if Delano may have made a mistake in the process that he just did not catch. Because right now he's starting to close in on the Red Bull of Scorpa, and we have a Haas that is around somewhere. It is Bearded Dave, and he was ghosted and hits the wall. He's still hitting the wall. Trying to get a 3-point turn going. So the Haas is not looking too great at the moment. Right now down and near the rear of the field. could not tell who that was. That looked like to be a Williams. I think that might be RGB. That was probably about damage. But anyway, I'm going back up to now the battle for the race lead, with Delano and Scorpa battling out right up for first place. Delano has, of course, the freshest set of medium compound tires. Scorpa has been on those tires since the very start of the race, so of course he has yet to make a pit stop as well. And they both do not have ERS also, but Delano is going to see if he can get by that Red Bull as quickly as he possibly can. And he's going to go for the move on the inside. I think he's got, is he clear? Unless he got the traction, and he's got the traction to get ahead, so he's back to the lead of the Grand Prix. So Delano takes the lead of the race, and right now he's got at least close to a 2-second gap between him and Scorpa. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, Baseman, excuse me. But yeah, that gap is closing more significant, and there you go, Scorpa's now finally into the pit lane. No surprise there, just to get off those medium compound tires and go onto the softs. But right now, if we could bring the telemetry back, right now it's 2.6 seconds actually between Baseman and Delano. And then you got Max third. 1.6 seconds separating between him and his teammate. Baze Bailey, though, has moved up to fourth after having to make a pit stop from breaking his front wing in the early laps. Right now at fourth at the moment, so he's doing all right in the McLaren. Probably not the results he would have wanted, but still a pretty decent recovery drive at the moment. But he's also got the Red Bull of Hugh Janis. Trying to close in on him a little bit. And young Tommy on the hard compound tires, so he's now going to try to go to the very end of the race, which is very interesting indeed. But the hards, I know, is definitely a bad tire, I will say, around here, because you have literally no pace. I would say you had no pace if you are on those hard compound tires. It just does not warm up that quickly around Vietnam. Gouda tries to go for a move, does not, just stays back for the time being, of course. Just buying his time. Yeah, now you can see that he was starting to close in more on Baze Bailey. He's kind of struggled a little bit there. Those S's, he might have had some kind of an awkward line, I'm guessing. Now he gets the DRS, Eugenus does. What is the strat around here? Preferred strat is soft, medium, soft. That's what I've done in the past, so I'm probably expecting that's what everyone else is doing as well. Cryptic Alibi. You did not get a good exit there at the end of that second roundabout, and you will get the DRS, but it is not close enough to attack the McLaren. I love the last comment there, not go into a wall. I mean, the thing is, though, is that this track is wider than, like, Monaco, obviously. But it is also, the width-wise, I'd say it's about as wide as, probably close to Baku, in a way. Not all of it, but in some parts of the track, it is a bit as wide as Baku. It's definitely not like Singapore, where it's like super tight. Yeah, Hugh Janis is starting to close in a little bit more than McLaren. Yeah, he's not making the greatest of lines, I would say, but also to note, too, if you look at the telemetry, the gap is starting to close a little bit more between Delano and Baseman. Oh, and Baze Bailey had a bit of a moment there. That's not good there. So that's going to allow you to get a good run on. Baze Bailey cuts them off, but DRS will be enabled for the Red Bull. I don't think he's close enough. He tries to go around the outside, goes for the switchback, but he does not go for the get the move done. So FaZe Bailey had a bit of a moment, but he just could. But UJS just could not find a way to get past that McLaren. But DRS is yet again enabled for the Red Bull into the second braking zone. No, we cannot quite get him just yet into the second roundabout. And now we see a position change as Guna gets ahead of young Tommy for 7th place in that Ferrari. If I remember correctly, I think he started in 14th on the grid. So he's actually doing a fairly decent job at the very moment, Guna is. And now he's going to get DRS ahead of that. Williams ahead of him. Captain Infinity. A little bit of weaving there from the Williams there. And he does get ahead, so the Ferrari. Oh, that's a little bit late braking. Same with Tommy as well. Just gets ahead, so Guna goes up into 6th place. Might have to look at the battle for the lead at the moment because, in a little bit, because Baseman is closing in more and more on Delano. I might have to see why. I think he's just struggling for pace or something. He just doesn't seem like he's having the pace at the moment in the AlphaTauri. But his weight's fine. Captain Infinity finally goes into the pit lane. Come out ahead of Jay Bradfield, obviously. Oh yeah, not to mention, Scarpa also fit on the hard compound tire, so he's also going to the end of the race as well. But he's going to be struggling for a lot of pace as well. Actually, no, Captain Infinity goes behind Jay Bradfield, so he loses quite a few positions and then goes to the bottom of the top 10, but with DRS to help him out. And he gets to the pass now. He is not quite close enough. But the battle for the lead now is starting to spice up a little bit there. 1 second is the gap between Baseman and Delano. If you remember, over 10 laps ago, that gap was 2.6, actually not 2.6, it was roughly over 3 seconds. Now it's 1.1 seconds between Baseman and Delano. And I'm wondering at some point, those two are going to have to respond with a pit stop. They're going to make one more stop, of course. They can't go to the end of those mediums because they will be overheated. But I think they're going to have to push a little bit and try to go for the softs to the end of the race. When will that be? I feel like it will be in the next couple laps. And meanwhile, we go back to the battle for 4th place with FaZe Bailey and Hugh Janis. They're still duking it out a little bit there. DRS again for the Red Bull. He's much closer this time. LP sets the fastest lap of the race. Does he go for a move around the outside? I think FaZe Bailey's got him off a little bit there. Oh, contact, still more contact. FaZe Bailey gets pushed to the wall too. But Hugh Janis just bullies his way through the McLaren and goes up into 4th. After finally just being stuck behind him, but it looks like FaZe Bailey will try to counterattack as well. But I think we're going to go back with the battle for the lead, as now it's half a second between Delano and Baseman. And they both also running the same amount of ERS. They're both nearly out of it. So they're running about the same ERS, same battery level, but the pace has just been more in favor to Baseman. He just seems to be more comfortable than the AlphaTauri. So I'm wondering there's going to be a... So no, they're not coming to the pits just quite yet. Neither one of them. I would have to see if there would be a response from either one of them very soon, as FaZe Bailey goes into the pits, but gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So this day gets a little bit more woeful, I will say. Probably could have been the battle for the lead. It did not break his front wing in the early laps. The DRS is now enabled for the Racing Point. But look at all the battery that Baseman has. He's got a lot more battery than Delano has. 33% compared to 16%. And he's also got good traction now in that second roundabout. We might see a lead change here if we're still running on board with Baseman. He's got the straight line speed as well to help him out, and I think he's going to clear him before even the detection point. Oh, he also hits the wall too, but he's got him cleared. Baseman now takes the lead of the race. But does Delano come back at him? No, he does not. He stays back. But Baseman now takes the lead of the race. Now is this the point where Delano counterattacks by getting an undercut? I think it's a little bit too soon to make a pit stop, but it could still work. But the tires will be a bit sketchy towards the end of the race if he goes onto the softs now. Let's see what he does. Does he go into the pits? Yep, there you go. He's counterattacking. He's going to the pits. So he's trying to go for an undercut on Baseman to take back the lead. He did that on his first stint. Can he do it after his second stint? Max stays out as well. So the Racing Points are now 1 and 2. But we'll have to see where Delano will come out once Baseman makes his pit stop. But if I'm Baseman, I would counterattack that and just go into the pits in this lap. And not do what Max did and stay out for another lap, because that was the biggest mistake from Max. When he stayed out for 1 or 2 more laps longer than what Delano did, he lost a significant amount of time. So they need to find this lap to finally find some pace on the in lap, but also to hopefully counterattack Delano. Now you can see Delano's also on the soft compound tire, so he's going to have a tremendous amount of pace to help him out. Yeah, you can see Baseman is over at the end of the hairpin. Max is at the hairpin, and then Delano is on the back straight. Right now, 6.7 seconds separate between Baseman and his teammate. And let's see, does he counterattack with a pit stop right now? I think yep, there you go. He's counterattacking. He's going into the pits. So he's going to try to hopefully overrule that undercut on Delano. So we'll see where Delano will come in this pit stop for Baseman. Baseman is coming towards his pit stall right now. Delano is at the penultimate turn. As now on goes to the soft compound tires. This is going to be very, very close, I'd say. So Delano right at the first corner. I think he might get... Yeah, he's got him. Delano takes the lead back of the race. So the undercut has worked for the AlphaTauri. By pitting 1 lap sooner, he managed to get an undercut, and he's got a significant margin as well between him and Baseman. Man, this has been a fascinating race nonetheless. But Baseman, right on the back of young Tommy, of course, is on the hard compound tire, so he's going to have to get by him as quickly as possible. Yeah, stick behind him is not going to help him either there. But of course, Baseman will get the DRS to help him out. Max has yet to make a pit stop, though, too. Notes to himself. And, oh, there's a quick battle here between Hugh Janis and Menace Max. Hugh Janis takes the lead of the race. Pushes the Racing Point out wide, but of course they're not the penultimate leaders. This is the penultimate leader right here. Delano right now in 3rd place. Baseman right now in penultimate 2nd. And we should be seeing these two come into the pits. Hugh Janis stays out. Interesting. Menace Max, though, comes into the pits, so he's going to try to go for an undercut on Hugh Janis. Unless Hugh Janis thinks he can go to the end of the race on those, but that is a big down. And plus, he's got Delano hunting him down on those fresh set of soft tires. Right now the gap is 2.6 seconds when we have 8 more laps to go until the checkered flag. This could be a good fight until the end of this race. And yellow flags. LP's out of the race. He's out. Oh, that's a VSC. It's a virtual safety car. Oh, if that would have been a full course safety car, that would have changed the race entirely. Oh, Delano is so lucky he did not get a full course safety car. It's just a VSC. But if Hugh Janis would have come into if he was around the pits, around that time, the VSC, I think that would have changed a lot in this race too. But, of course, Hugh has got to make a pit stop, though, very, very soon. And Eddie Lou's got a drive-through penalty for speed under the VSC. I think Delano almost had a moment there where he could have got a VS drive-through as well, because he had to stop very quickly on his Delta. And there you go, LP's out of the session. I don't blame him for that. Crashing in the S's. Looks like he also lost a significant amount of time as well. He lost about 3/10 from that VSC at the restart. He was still staying out. Wow, that is very interesting. So is he really thinking he can go to the end? Because I don't think he can with those worn medium tires. And plus with Delano closing on him a lot, that is going to be a little bit of a tall order. But speaking of tall order, we got Baseman starting to close in more. 2.1 seconds. And he's got lots of battery life to deal with. And we got more yellows. Bitter Dave's around again at the end of the hairpin. And he's just sitting there too. He does realize he's ghosted, yes? Okay, he's good. So that won't bring out a safety car or a VSC. Drifting out by saying that Hugh Janis might get third if he's lucky. I don't know. Those tires have got to be at least at the braking point. And you can see that gap's closing, but look at this. Also the gap between Delano and Baseman closing more. And he's got a purple middle sector as well. So right now Delano, I'm sorry, not Delano, Baseman has shown a little bit more pace than the AlphaTauri has. And Peter Davis retired from the race. He's retired into the pits. And has called it a day. Hugh Janis finally comes in. So Delano takes the lead. And Delano has a fast lap, but look who counterattacked. 7/10 quicker than Delano's fastest lap. Baseman has the fastest lap of the race. He's lapping nearly 7.5 quicker than what Delano is doing. That is a big, big difference. So 1.1 seconds is the gap right now. He's got plenty of actually, no, he does not have battery life anymore. He's got a purple first sector now. Oh, so he is closing in big time. The question is, how long can Delano hold them off with that racing point fully in his rear view mirrors? 9/10 right now. He has no battery life. DRS enabled for the racing point. But he's just not close enough to get to him just quite yet. He cannot get to that AlphaTauri at this point. He might have to wait one more lap to pounce on him. But yeah, he has no battery life. Baseman is also at the brink of no battery life as well. And he lived a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's good to see not to have too many penalties. It's around this circuit. Not very hard not to, of course, but at least in my opinion, it's not. But look at Baseman now. Now he's all over the AlphaTauri's rear wing. 37.8 in that lap. I'm thinking Delano may have lost some time in that as well. FaZe has got a 3-second time penalty. And Young Tommy's coming. Oh, wait, that's a different Renault. I'm sorry. I thought that was Young Tommy for a moment. I was like, whoa, where did he come from? Anyways, here comes Baseman. He's got DRS. He's got the battery life to help him out. And I think he's got the lead. He's got the lead of the race. Baseman has got the pace to get ahead of the AlphaTauri, and he's got ahead of him now. And we have yellow flags. Oh, it's FaZe Bailey. I think yeah, it is. Oh, and his day goes from bad to worse as he's lost his front wing end plate again. The same side that he lost it on the early laps. And he loses on the same side again. Well, here comes Delano. He's got a counterattack against the Racing Point. Does he go for, oh, he thought about it for a moment there. He really thought about it for just a brief moment, but Baseman has got more traction out of that corner. Zenith is out of the race. He's retired in the pits. .6 right now is the gap between Baseman and Delano, but we could see Tommy go into the podium if he can hold off Janice. But that's going to be a bit of a tall order, I would say. But right now, 7/10 is the gap right now. Delano has the DRS, but he's not close enough to get to the Racing Point. We saw Racing Point in the podium last week. Can we see them on the top step of the podium? And Hugh Janice at the fast lap of the race, so he is going to catch up to the Renault, probably. Yeah, you can see also Menace Max has also lost the undercut as well. I did not mention earlier, but yeah, he lost a lot of time to Hugh Janice because of that undercut. And yeah, it looks like Baseman might be clear of DRS, and yeah, I think he is, yeah. 1.2 seconds. Yeah, so he's not close enough to get to... He's not close enough to get DRS, Delano is, so yeah, he's going to have to stay behind. I think right now this could be Baseman's race to lose at this point. He can win this with the pace that he's got, but just has to make sure he does not make any mistakes. Obviously, the big thing is not hit the wall. Don't hit the wall, you're fine. Yeah, he's grown that gap very significantly now. 1.2 seconds is the gap. Tommy, though, is about 10 seconds clear of Delano at this point. And yeah, that's not the Renault that I'm talking about. That's a different one. That is Andy Liu. Bearded Davis left the session. I don't blame him for how the race has been for him. Bit of a rough one there for Haas, for sure. Now 3 more laps to go into the race. 1.3 seconds right now is the gap between Baseman and Delano. Still some race to go, though. Anything can happen. We'll see how this ends up. 1.4 seconds. Hugh Janice is now closed in more on that the Renault of Young Tommy. Even though those hard tires might be starting to come alive, I don't think you'll be able enough defense to hold off that Red Bull behind. Yeah, you can see the exit speed is much greater than that Renault is. Plus with DRS won't help him out either with the defense. And yep, there you go, he's got him. So he's clear. And Hugh Janice will take the final podium position. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, he should be fine. Delano, it looks like he hit the wall in the process. I'm trying to see if he has damage still, but I can't see the on-board shot. No, thankfully he does not, but he's lost a lot of time. 2.3 seconds now. I think Baseman's got this race locked. 2.5 seconds right now is the gap. so he gained over a second on that lap. Oh, crud. Apologies. I guess I forgot that my controller was in the brink of death. My apologies there. So, yeah, now the gap is 3.1 seconds. Hugh Janis has 9 seconds between him and Delano, so he's obviously in loss for third. Young Tommy, though, well, looks like to finish in fourth. And to see where he started, though, he started at 12th. He's gained 8 positions. So he's had himself a good race. I would not be surprised if he was driver of the day. Started on the mediums. Yes, he has had a good, solid race so far in that Renault. And just ignore those pop-ups. That's just my controller being stupid with the low battery life. So apologies if you can see those black pop-ups on the screen. But anyway, the gap right now 3.5 seconds between Baseman and Delano as we get towards the final stages of the race. Forever notification. Right. And here we go. Here comes Baseman to start the final lap of the race. So 3.6 seconds clear is the gap. And I think he's got this race locked. It should go back to maybe the battle for 9th. Looks like that seems to be spicing up a little bit here with Gunnar and Jonesy. Oh, well, I think that might not help him out there as he's hit the wall, but he does not have damage. Thankfully, in League One, it's only reduced. But that's not the same story with the Premier League and Championship. We will have to be dealing with full damage. Of course, I'll be dealing with that this Saturday, and hopefully I will be around for that time. I missed last race due to me oversleeping. But yeah, anyways, looks like we might be reaching the end of the race here as Baseman's got at least another 12 more corners to go. And the yellow flags looks like it's going to be a Mercedes, I believe. Is that Jonesy? Yeah. So pretty much this points finish has pretty much disappeared. As he was just, is he trying to take himself out intentionally? Well, anyway, I gotta get back to the race leader. Here comes Baseman around the final penultimate corner now. Had a good battle with Delano, but he's holding him off. Baseman will come across the line now to win the Vietnam Grand Prix. Delano, finishing in second place, will come across the line in the podium positions again. Hugh Janis will get his very first podium. And young Tommy, who started from 12th in the grid, will come home in 4th. A good race overall by the Renault. Menace Max, who had a bit of a disappointment, started on pole, but just could not have the pace to finish in the podium positions. Finishes in 5th place. Scorp, though, I will say, though, had a good race himself. This will be his first ever points finish. Finishes in 6th. FaZe Bale will finish in 7th place, even though he could have been in the position to fight for the win, maybe. Gunnar will get ahead of him, and same with Captain Affinity on penalties. And Jay Bradfield will come home in 10th place to round off the final points finish. Jonesy with a bit of a rallycross slide there. As he's still doing a rallycross slide, but also loses a position to ALR Vintage. So it'll be ALR Vintage coming across the line in 11th place, and not Jonesy, as he's still spinning around. So also RGMBMH will come across in 12th. Jonesy, well, I guess we'll still. Oh, he had a puncture. Oh, no wonder why he was sliding. He had a puncture on his right rear tire. Oh, that's why he was sliding about. No wonder. I thought he was doing that on purpose. I didn't see the puncture. Oh, they give the driver of the day to Gunnar. Alright. So, Gunnar gets driver of the day, I guess, but the winner, Baseman, for Racing Point. So pretty much go from the original Mercedes from last week winning the race to the pink Mercedes winning the race this week. And Delano, who finished from third last week, finishes at second. Hugh Janis gaining his very first podium. But yeah, good race overall by these lads. Overall, it was a good race by Baseman and Delano. Had a good battle for first. Just Delano just could not pull it off, even with the undercut. Just could not hold him off. So where did Gunnar actually... he started from 16th on the grid. He gained as much positions as Tommy did, starting from 8th, gaining 8 positions. But anyway, there's your order there. Baseman finishes in first, Delano in second, Hugh Janis in third, Young Tommy in fourth, Menace Max in fifth, Scorpa in sixth, Captain Infinity in seventh, Gunnar in eighth, Bailey in ninth, Jay Bradfield in 10th, ALR Vintage in 11th, RG in 12th, Joseph in 13th, Jonesy in 14th, Andy Liu in 15th, Swanshank in 16th, Santh in 17th, Bearded Dave and LP rounds off the rest of the field. But yeah, no, that was a good race overall. I probably would have said Tommy was more driver of the day because he finished at 4th. I mean, still give credit where credit's due to Gunnar, though, for going from 16th to 8th. That's still a good race overall to get to the points. But, I know we did interviews last time, but, do I need to do interviews again? Or... I don't know. I mean, I know the last time I had an issue with Delano having the mic issue in the interview because no one could hear him. I don't know if anyone... Let me see here real quick. Just hold on a second. I'm sorry if there's a bit of a delay. And thanks for... Yeah, no problem. Vintage, anytime. Glad to commentate again for you guys. I guess we could probably wrap it up. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up. Alright, I guess that's the end of the stream. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in to the championship. They'll be coming up later on today. So, my name is Kennedy 1997. Have a great rest of your day, and you'll be seeing me now on the track next time. The next time I'm back here for WNR for tomorrow for the Premier League in the Haas. But hopefully I don't oversleep. Anyway, have a great rest of your night. Take care.